All right, good morning, everyone. Still some few minutes left, so I'm going to wait for the rest, and then we can start talking. This talk will be about giving you some trading tips that you can use to become a better trader, as well as talking about some misconceptions about trading, and you also have the ability to ask all your questions. So, yeah, I am Dutch. Awesome. Maybe we can connect afterwards. All right, it's 11 a.m. People that join now are late, so we are getting started. Quick introduction. This session will be about giving you some tips. During the session, you all are muted, but you can ask your questions in the chat, and afterwards, we will be able to answer those. So please take advantage of that. You can basically ask me anything about females. No, just kidding. But all trading related questions are okay, and I will try to answer them as best as possible. So let's get started. First, the disclaimer. Take some time to read it. It basically says I'm not a financial advisor, and anything I say in this session is for educational purposes and is not investment advice. By the way, can everyone see my screen? Please type a yes or something in the chat so I know it's working. Great. All right, let's move ahead. So the structure of the session will be first going to talk a bit about me, because some of you might not be familiar with me. So a few minutes talking about me. Then I want to talk about a few points that to me really describe the reality of trading, because you see all these Instagram fake trading stuff on the internet all day, and that's not trading. So I basically want to tell some myths about trading that are not true and that you can use to basically become a better trader. The next sheet is all about tips to become a better trader, and these are some tips you might have heard of, some you might have not heard of, so please pay attention. And the last point is basically short, going over my coaching opportunity. It's not a sales talk. I just want to talk about some things I can help you with potentially, and then I will answer all your questions. So let's get started. First bit about me. My name is Cas Daamen from the Netherlands, 24 years old. Been trading for around 5 years, almost hitting that 5-year mark. The focus is on mechanical trading, which is very, very rule-based. You can also call it quantitative trading or something of that kind. That's my focus, basically, because it is way easier to follow. You have way less emotional mistakes, those type of things. So that's really my focus. I do add a bit of discretion sometimes to increase performance, but this is really the core. I trade spot FX, so basically Forex, the commodities market and indices. With my company, I coach people, so I trade part-time. I get a part-time income from trading, and I coach people one-on-one. So not just selling some bullshit course like everyone is doing, but I really coach people one-on-one to get the best out of them. And what also makes me different is that I'm actually building a record right now. So not on my main trading account, but I want to show that I am profitable. So I made 2 separate accounts, one for indices, one for FX, that I'm using to build a record right now. And I'm going to paste on my website once it's finished, so that I am like the only trading company that actually has a record. So that's what I'm building right now. Stay tuned for that. So that's a bit about me. Let's get back to this next slide, the reality of trading. So I've written down 4 points, and number 1 is day trading is usually a waste of time. And this is so true. And I see so many people getting into day trading or intraday trading, or I don't know, trading the 15-minute chart. And I'm not saying it can't work, but the odds are very, very against you. Why? Because research shows that around 90 to 95% of people that day trade lose money, and around 2 to 3% of people day trading make quite a good amount of money. And this includes people working at professional prop firms on Wall Street and these type of things. So the odds of you making it as a day trader are so low. And that's mainly because of costs, because of emotions, and just the lack of edge people have when day trading. So I always tell people, if you get into trading, why not swing trade? I swing trade myself, use the daily and the hourly time frame. The odds of success are still very slim, but they are quite a bit higher than in day trading. I've spoken to a hedge fund from Belgium a few weeks ago, and they asked me, what type of trading do you do? And I said, I'm a swing trader. I trade the daily time frame. And they said to me, good, because day trading is just almost impossible. They told me anyone that worked there on that trading floor, they all swing traded. And they didn't just draw support and resistance lines. They had a lot of fundamental data they used to create a bias, but it was all based on statistics and not on drawings or random lines. So if that's you, if you want to be a day trader, know that it's highly unlikely that you're going to succeed and that you're going to make money. So just think about it, and then you might be thinking about switching to swing trading, which is also more relaxed because you're probably working at a job right now and you just can't be at your charts all day. And I run my trading business, I trade, and I run another business. So I'm very busy and I can't be at the charts all day. Well, I can because I work from my home office, but I still have other things to do. And if that's you, swing trading might be the better fit. So yeah, the next point is it's normal to not make money for a few months per year. And this also goes back to the Instagram generation, where people post flashy cars and green days with trading. The reality is that every single professional trader I've ever heard of or spoken to, even people in hedge funds or whatever the case is, they never make money every single month. Never. They always have losing months, and sometimes even a half year of losing money. And that's so normal in trading. You can't expect to be making some kind of stable income from trading. That's not the case. The first half of this year, my Forex trading results were all over the place. So 1 month up, 1 month down. And at the end of the 6 months, yes, I did make a bit of money, but it was all over the place. So you can't expect to make a stable income from it. And it's even possible to not make money for months. It depends on your trading style, but it's generally what happens. So that's something to keep in mind. Next point, drawdowns happen all the time. And this is also something people on Instagram won't show you, again, because they want to sell you something, or I don't know, but drawdowns are very normal. And to give you an example of this, I want to go over one of my spreadsheets from backtesting. And this is basically the backtested performance of the basis of my mechanical strategy. And as you can see, it performs very, very well over 10 years. This has been tested over 10 years and the performance is great. However, if we zoom in on the graphs, by the way, can everyone see my Excel sheet? Okay, great. So let's dive into the sheet. I've written down some notes here. From trade 62 towards 83, there has been made 0 profit and only a drawdown. This is with a strategy that has a 60% win rate on one pair only. So this is the period I'm talking about. And it seems like a minor drawdown, but it took 21 trades to get out of the drawdown before making a new high in the equity curve. And that's something nobody talks about. They only talk about the profits, but in reality, this is what happens when you're trading. And this strategy is really, really good. 60% win rate and a decent R. It has a great edge over the long run, but you still get these periods. And yes, this is on one pair. So if you trade multiple pairs, this can be a bit less, but it also can get a bit worse. The next thing, the drawdown during this phase was 5R with 1% risk, so 4.92% compounded. And that's not a deep drawdown at all. 5% is absolutely nothing if you're risking 1%. However, it took 21 trades to get out of, like I said. So you can be in a drawdown for months. And this strategy on this pair only has 12 trades per year. So that would mean it took around 2 years before you made money on that pair. I trade around 12 pairs with the strategy. So of course it doesn't take me that long, but this is really something to think about. And then we get to the point of frequency, because increasing frequency means the chances of getting out of a drawdown are, it's quicker to get out of a drawdown, because you trade 10 pairs, one performs good, the other one performs a bit less and has a drawdown, but it evens out over the long run. So yeah, to summarize this, even with the fact that from trade 62 towards 83, there was no profits at all, in 10 years, the strategy has an ROI of 45%, around 45%. And that's just on one pair without extra confidence factors. This is just a basic part of my edge, and risking 1% a trade. Risking 2% a trade increased the drawdown to around 10%, which is very good. And the returns go to 90%, which is around average of 9% a year, almost identical to the S&P returns. And this is just on one pair. So the main message is, even if your win rate is 65% or higher, you can still have these drawdowns. And that's definitely what you need to think about. The only thing you can do at that point is to stick to the plan and to basically improve your edge. That's all you can do. So that was a bit of a rant about drawdowns, but I think it's well needed. And the last point is, traders on Instagram flashing their expensive shit are losing traders. I thought this was common knowledge, but apparently it's not. And still a lot of people fall into the trap of these Instagram gurus. These traders on Instagram that show you any type of car or whatever the fuck they show, a beach with cocktails. I don't know what they show these days. I don't follow these guys, but I'd say there's a 99.9% chance these guys lose money trading. So be very aware, and especially if it says something like account manager or institutional trader or whatever they call themselves, be very skeptical, because the odds are high that these guys are losing money. So next slide, tips to increase performance. And this is basically a route you can take to become a profitable trader. This is how you actually make trading your job. And this is what a lot of people skip, and it takes them a lot of extra years to become profitable. It took me around 3.5 years to actually get an edge in the markets. But then still, it takes a lot of time to scale up. I'm now 5 years into trading. I can get around a part-time income from trading. It's around 50-50, but depends on the month. But to get it to full-time trading, it still takes a lot of time. And I usually tell people to stick to part-time trading, because one side of my income is stable, one side is from trading. And that way, if I have a bad month, I can still pay the bills I need to pay. So that's a bit of a tip there. But let's dive into it. So number one, learn the concepts that you like. I see a lot of people getting into smart money trading these days. Nothing wrong with that. But it's very important, if you start to develop your trading strategy, that you develop it because you use concepts that you like, and not because someone else is using it and tells you he makes money with it, because they're probably not, number one. And number two, if the concepts that you trade or put in your strategy are not concepts you like or understand, it's very hard to be profitable with it, even if someone else is. And that's just because if you don't like the concept and if you don't understand it, you won't take the time to backtest it. And then if you hit the losing streak, which I just spoke about, happens to anyone, you don't have the confidence to trade through it and to stick to the plan. So If you're new to the game, or if you have been fucking around for a few years and still don't get anywhere, start with looking at concepts. So maybe you like the concept of a fake breakout. Maybe you like smart money. Maybe you like indicators. Write down what you like the most and start by investigating those and see if it's really something for you. Once you have decided which concepts you like, then you can start by establishing rules. So for example, you want to trade a breakout. All right, what is a breakout to me? How am I going to define a breakout? Because if you don't have those rules, it will be very, very hard to backtest it. And you need to get a statistics. Like I said earlier, the hedge fund I spoke to in Belgium, they have statistics all over the place. They have it around fundamental data. They basically have sheet after sheet after sheet with data. The guy I learned everything from in terms of trading, he had sheets of data. He worked for a prop firm that isn't around anymore, I believe. And these guys had data on everything. If they saw a pin bar on the DAX, they knew the odds of it playing out the next day, all these type of things. So you need to establish rules around the concepts you use and make them as clear as possible, because otherwise it will be very hard to test. The next thing is, of course, backtesting. And a lot of people skip this. They say it's useless. Whatever they tell you, in my opinion, is very important, because if your strategy isn't even profitable on a backtest, there's literally no need to waste any money on it trading live. So start with backtesting, gather some statistics around the win rate, the performance, see if there is an edge, and a clear edge. That's very important. If that's the case, try it out on demo and trade it for a while. Journal the performance, how it went, and see if you can replicate the performance of your backtest in demo trading. If that's the case, and only if that's the case, then you can go live. And a lot of people skip this because they think they can make money live immediately because everyone on Instagram tells them to. It's all a lie. If you're not profitable on demo, there is no way you are going to be profitable on live, only if you have a shitload of luck. And you don't want to be relying on luck when you are trading. So that's what you need to do. And then the next thing that you are going to be doing your whole trading career is identifying mistakes and learn from them as soon as possible. This is how you become profitable, because mistakes cost you money. And as sooner you learn from them, you become profitable. And also, you once you have finished your strategy, you don't quit learning. You start to look at connections between your winning trades. All right, what if this happens? Do the odds of success increase? If that's the case, work from there and build further on it. That's what this career is about. It's about analyzing your statistics about trading, finding things you can improve, and work from there. And most people think it's about flashy cars, but sorry to to bring the bad news, but it's way more about learning from mistakes and analyzing data. So to basically talk a bit about what I do, again, not a sales pitch or any type of selling stuff, but I spoke about coaching earlier, and I'm working with a few people that are getting very, very good at their stuff, at testing their stuff, at developing an edge. Still have some room for a few people, but don't sign up if you don't know the basis. Don't sign up if you're not willing to work. Don't sign up if you're exactly clear what you want. And that's why I have a free intake on my website, because I don't want to just sell something. I actually want to work with people that are serious and that I can help. So if you're interested in this, just go to my website. There you can find a free intake. We get a Zoom call one-on-one, see how your trading goes, see if I can help you. And if it's not the case, if I can't help you, I'm not going to sell you any product, because that's just fucking stupid. And also watch my free stuff first, because I always tell people a mentor is important, but it has to be a mentor that fits with you, that maybe you like his approach of teaching, maybe you like his strategy. That's important. So a lot of people ask me if I can coach them, and I always tell them, first watch my free stuff, do a free call with me, and only then I can decide if it's a good fit. So with that aside, let's take a look at the questions in the chat. And again, if you still have more questions, just put them in the chat. This is your chance to ask me anything about trading. The way I approach it is I don't take any cash out of the main account, or at least I don't pay myself it. If I make profits over a certain period of time, I take it out and I invest it in other things such as indices or whatever. I don't want to pay myself that much because I have other income sources and I want to really benefit from compounding. Next question, what is smart money trading? Smart money trading is what people call trading like the banks, or I don't know, institutional candle kind of stuff. I don't really believe in it. I think people that tell you they trade like a bank, but they've never worked in a bank. And then when you ask from who did you learn, they tell you a name, and then these guys also didn't work at a bank. So how on earth are you trading like a bank? I don't really understand it. But to me, smart money trading is basically having a clear edge in the markets and approaching trading professionally instead of gambling and drawing a line somewhere. What is your strategy? My strategy is 90% mechanical. And if I make a nice drawing on my screen, this is my strategy. I wait for a range, I wait for a false breakout, and I enter on a clean break above it. But I've basically made it very mechanical. So I've got some mechanical rules that I can put in an expert advisor. And this makes it way easier to trade for me. But this is the concept behind my entire strategy. It's about analyzing liquidity, analyzing ranges to identify what a bigger player is doing in the markets and potentially join him in his moves. Which concept is the best? No concept is the best. There are so many concepts out there, and I know people that use indicators to make money. I know people that use just price action, fundamentals. There is no best concept. There is no best indicator. There is no best mentor. It doesn't exist. It's what's the best for you. For example, I have always been very good with mathematics, physics, and those type of things. So I'm more number-based. I like statistics. That's why I trade mechanical. If you're not that type of person, maybe discretionary trading using supply and demand or anything is the best approach for you. So I can't really tell you which concept is the best. What other than Wyckoff you look on a chart? So I look at multiple things. Number one, my mechanical strategy. Number two, liquidity. And then number three, Wyckoff. Those are the things I look for. Mechanical like Wyckoff, what do you mean by that? Which time frame do you use for the analysis? I use the daily and the hourly time frame. I start on the daily. I highlight areas of liquidity. I look for my mechanical bias, and then I go to the hourly time frame to basically find a better entry and a stop loss to increase my risk reward ratio. Are there any more questions? Mechanical systems in what trading or money management, or where do you use? Yeah, mechanical system I use in trading. Mechanical basically means you can Google it, but it's just very rule based. It's black and white, no guesswork. So for example, if you draw a support and resistance line, one time you draw it like this, the other time you draw it like that. And there's no real consistency there. And with mechanical trading, you have black and white rules that you basically, if you follow them, you always get the same outcome. And that's mechanical trading. Yeah, no guesswork at all. You just have some rules, you test them over a lot of data, and you follow those rules. And you don't look at what happens, you just follow the rules. That's it. Yes, I will contact you on Instagram. Is there any rule for stop loss? Stop loss placement depends totally on your strategy, but one tip I want to give everyone in terms of stop loss placements, you only want to place a stop at the area of where your strategy or trade idea is wrong. So you don't want to place a stop because you want a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. You don't want to place a stop because you will lose $20 on that trade and not 25. Your stop has to be based on your strategy, on the market, and on where your trade idea is wrong. So to give you an example of how I do this is the trade idea. I'm wrong as soon as this low breaks. I'm buying the breakout. I'm targeting something up here. As soon as this low breaks, I'm wrong, but I usually have a tighter stop to get out even further. But if you want to place your stop loss, really think about when are you wrong on a trade. Do you use the volume spread analysis when dropping to the H1? No, I don't use any volume at all. Forex doesn't really have volume. However, there have been studies done that using tick volume does give a bit of reliable data, but I don't use it at all. Which part of Wyckoff do you trade mostly? The ranges: accumulation, distribution, reaccumulation, redistribution. And then I trade the breakouts. Is there any pairs which are best for trading? Again, it depends on your strategy. I use my favorite ones, the ones I perform best in are definitely two indices, which is the NASDAQ and this S&P 500. And my favorite pair, NZD USD, Euro Dollar, and USD CAD. Those are my best pairs. But in general, just test your strategy over different pairs and see which ones perform best, because each pair is a little bit different. Are there any more questions? Can we get the link of any video of how to trade? Oh, you're new. Yeah, so on my website, I will type it in the chat. If you use that link, you get to a sign up page. There you can sign up. Oh, I'm sorry, I did a direct message. Hold on. There we go. So there you can sign up. And there you will find a free course for beginners, as well as a free ebook and a free training. So if you are a beginner, that's definitely a great place to get started. Indices are bullish, so how you find Wyckoff there? It's still possible to find Wyckoff there on the lower time frames. However, I have to say that when I trade indices, it's purely my mechanical strategy. So in Forex, I want my mechanical strategy, Wyckoff and the liquidity part. But in indices, I basically trade a mechanical strategy, and that's it. So yeah, I do get your point. There's no real clear Wyckoff there, but I have a bit of a different strategy there. Any more questions? I'm a little bit confused with mechanical strategy. Well, I'll try to explain it as best as I could, but if you go to Google and you search for mechanical strategy, you will get some more explanations about it. I also have a blog on my website where I talk about what a mechanical trading strategy is, and I show you a look into my mechanical trading strategy, so that might help as well. As we see in Insta, Facebook ads, they say they make 1,000 of 100. Is that legit? Nope, they are lying. And if it's legit, it is based on luck and not on trading skills. So you want to stay away from those people. Is it your own business that you started? Yes. So I have my trading business. I can show you the website real quick if you're not familiar. This is my business again. Here you can find the free materials. Here you can schedule a free call before you decide on anything. And basically you can read more about me. I've done some things with proprietary trading BlueFX. I've been interviewed, done some challenges. Here you can find more about me. This is one of the businesses. The other one, I'm not really the owner, but I'm like in the staff of that company, and it's more focused on SEO. Got some time after for a Zoom call. I will send you a message afterwards, Min. Thanks for the compliment about my YouTube. I really like to be straight to the point because there's so much bullshit out there, and sometimes you see videos from people that are 40 minutes long, and then you watch it and then you're like, what the fuck did I watch? I didn't learn anything from it, or maybe just one point, and you're like, did I waste 40 minutes because of this? So yeah, I like to be straight. Any more questions? Also, this session is recorded, so I will post it on YouTube, and if you want to rewatch it, that's totally fine. I think I will be posting it next week. Oh yeah, me and Cam. Yeah, I'm doing a collaboration with Trading Nut, and this Saturday we're going to do the first live on YouTube, so that will be very cool. Yeah, no problem. I hope you guys really learned something from it. And I wasn't too harsh about the truth, but I really want to be clear about this. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to end this session right now. Again, if you still have questions afterwards, you can always contact me on Telegram. I will put my link down right now. That's my name. There you can send your questions. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully speak to you guys anytime soon.